Welcome back to Vitol's Motor Show. I am Vitol and we are diving deep into the rugged world of mid-size adventure motorcycles with a head-to-head comparison that is bound to get your engines revving even more. The contenders, the KTM 890 Adventure R and the Aprilia Tuareg 660. Buckle up as we ride through detailed segments, uncovering everything from engine performance to design quirks. Note that I've ridden all mid-size and large adventure motorcycles, which gives me a good background for such comparisons. Let's kick things off with the heart of the matter, the engine and performance. The KTM 890 Adventure R is powered by an 889 cubic centimeter two-cylinder inline engine that cranks out 105 horsepower and 100 newton meters of torque. It's like that friend who always seems to know the right thing to say. It's powerful and it's reassuring. From a standstill, the bike offers effortless acceleration that feels as smooth as butter on a warm toast. The traction control is the real deal here. It's not just reactive somehow, but it's rather proactive. It is ensuring you stay planted even when the stock tires start slipping under aggressive acceleration. However, let's not gloss over the fact that this engine does get a bit toasty, especially in city traffic or hotter climates, making your legs feel like they're auditioning for a role in a barbecue. The transmission is smooth as silk, it's making gear changes a breeze. On the flip side, we have the Aprilia Tuareg 660, which houses a 659cc two-cylinder inline engine, but here's the kicker. It only manages to produce 80 horsepower and 70 newton meters of torque. It definitely feels like the underdog in this matchup. It is struggling to keep pace when pushed hard. Now, you can feel the engine laboring, almost like it's running a marathon, while the KTM is sprinting at the same time. While it's fine for leisurely rides, the Tuareg could have you feeling disappointed on longer journeys. The gears feel a bit stretched out, and while there's manageable heat, it's not enough to redeem its performance shortcomings, in my opinion. In this round, the KTM takes the crown. Next up is handling, where the KTM 890 Adventure R showcases its stiff suspension. This bike is no slouch, but it's not exactly the most flickable in the class. The steering is precise, and while you might not be able to whip it around corners like a ninja, it remains composed under various conditions. The high seat position coupled with low handlebars can make it a bit cumbersome, especially if you're trying to maneuver in tight spots. In stark contrast, the Aprilia Tuareg 660 is a handling revelation. It feels neutral at low speeds, and as you accelerate, it transforms into a nimble partner that dances through turns. Even at higher speeds, say 100 kilometers per hour, it feels as if it can do anything for you. The handling is so responsive, guys, that you might find yourself scraping foot pegs just like a seasoned rider. I did that myself on this bike on a first ride actually. The bike seems stable even during braking or accelerating while leaning, which is a major confidence booster. The Aprilia wins this segment, and it's clear who's the more agile contender. Now let's talk suspension. The KTM 890 Adventure R features a 24 cm suspension travel and a ground clearance of 26.3 cm, which is impressive. However, that stiff setup can make the ride feel a bit jumpy, especially on uneven surfaces. You'll be bouncing around like a pinball if you hit a series of bumps. The front and rear suspension are adjustable without any tools, which is a nice touch, but you might wish for more smoothness on longer rides. The Aprilia Tuareg 660 matches that 24 centimeters of suspension travel and has 24 centimeters of ground clearance, but there's the catch. The rear end can squat noticeably when you accelerate, which can feel unsettling. The front suspension has a strange tendency to get overwhelmed by larger potholes and leaving you to wonder if it has any suspension at all, this bike. It's like riding a bucking bronco. Not exactly the smooth plush ride you're hoping for on an adventure bike. I would say that this one goes to KTM, but just slightly, and that's because there don't seem to be any serious issues, while Tuareg's front suspension retires every time there's something to do. When it comes to seat and position comfort, the KTM 890 Adventure R with an 88 cm seat height, which is not adjustable, making it a challenge for shorter riders to reach the ground. The foot pegs feel too high, leading to a crouch position that can turn your ride into a game of how long can I hold this position for? For the record, I'm 1 meter 83 centimeters tall or 6 feet tall. You'll find yourself sliding around on the flat, hard seat, which is more demanding than high stakes game of poker. In contrast, the Aprilia Tuareg features an 86 centimeter seat height, which is more forgiving. While it's still hard and off-road oriented, the seat provides more comfort. The wide handlebars and neutral pullback offer a comfortable grip, taking pressure off your wrist, which is good. Now, this bike allows for a more neutral riding position, especially for those who may need to be standing while navigating trails. Aprilia wins significantly here. If you care about that, check my electric office chair called 7G11 that's available at powerseats.eu. It's a masterpiece. Now, as we hit the open road, wind protection becomes crucial for those long rides, and not only. The KTM 890 Adventure R provides a surprisingly clean stream of wind, which is a breath of fresh air, literally. While it does protect your torso well, your helmet may still feel a little bit exposed to the elements. It's like wearing a good pair of sunglasses while forgetting your hat. You're still getting hit by the wind, but at least you look cool doing it, and it's all good, basically. The Aprilia Tuareg 660, on the other hand, offers minimal wind protection. While it avoids turbulence, the lack of adjustment means you are essentially riding with a formality rather than a functional shield. If you're planning on long rides, you might end up feeling like you're in a wind tunnel. The KTM edges out the Aprilia here. When it comes to stopping power, the KTM 890 Adventure R has a rear brake that takes a bit of getting used to because of the high foot pegs, which are making it hard to reach. The rear brake isn't the most effective, but the ABS works well. You primarily rely on the front brake, which, although strong, may feel a bit clumsy in operation due to the long travel front suspension that's putting the bike slightly off balance, while the Aprilia Tuareg 660's front brake requires a firm squeeze to work, making it less than ideal for smooth stops. The rear brake performs adequately, but it doesn't exactly wow you. I would say KTM wins here. In the drivetrain department, both bikes use a chain system, which is a standard thing for adventure bikes. No points lost or gained here, just a familiar sound of chains rattling as you ride off into the sunset. Beautiful vision. Now let's talk fuel tank capacity. The KTM 890 Adventure R shines with its 20-liter tank, making it adequate for long rides without constant stops for gas. You can go further and explore more, enjoying the ride instead of worrying about filling up. The Aprilia Tuareg 660 offers an 18-liter tank, and the fuel cap design is enough to make you question the engineers. It spins freely, which is definitely more trouble than it's worth. In this segment, the KTM claims victory with its normal design and larger capacity. When considering weight, the KTM 890 Adventure R weighs in at 200 kilograms dry, so likely around 215 to 120 kilograms wet, and it's feeling a bit top heavy. This can be a concern for riders trying to make quick maneuvers. You will notice that high located weight when you're trying to push it around in a parking lot. The Aprilia Tuareg 660, coming in at 204 kilograms with fuel already, feels lighter and more manageable. It's like carrying a backpack with a couple of extra snacks versus lugging around a full grocery bag. Aprilia is the winner. On the tech front, the KTM 890 Adventure R is packed with features including cruise control, LED front lights, cornering ABS, riding modes, and a clear and cool display that's easy to navigate. However, it lacks a keyless ignition and a keyless fuel cap, which might feel a bit dated in today's tech-savvy environment. The suspension is manually adjustable, which is a nice touch, but it lacks the convenience of some electrical adjustments like in some other bikes within the segment. But I understand that. The Aprilia Tuareg 660 offers similar technology, but it falls short in several areas. While it has riding modes, cruise control, LED front light, regular ABS and traction control, the absence of keyless features again, the lack of a tire pressure monitoring system, and even a rear rack option is to be taken into account. So I would say in general, KTM is a little bit better here, especially considering the display and its menus. As for sound, both bikes deliver smooth, albeit uninspiring exhaust notes. Neither is going to win any awards for musicality. So if you're looking for a bike that sounds like a roaring lion, you might want to keep shopping. I would say it's a tie here. Then we reach design. The KTM 890 Adventure R's aesthetic leaves much to be desired. With a front fender that resembles something out of a fairy tale gone wrong, It's not winning any beauty contests. The only saving grace here is the orange color, which is eye-catching in my opinion. Now, on the other hand, the Aprilia Tuareg 660 doesn't fare much better. Its design feels, I would say, outdated, and the strange front light makes it look more like a relic than a modern adventure bike. While it's not as off-putting as the KTM, it certainly isn't setting any trends. Aprilia looks better to me, and so it wins. What about the price and value for money then? KTM being 39% more expensive is giving me a headache. This is a huge difference for not that much in return, I would say. It's gone too far, and Aprilia definitely wins this one. In terms of X Factor, well, Aprilia turns and switches corners like a ballerina, while KTM has that insane pulling power. But thinking which one I would have more fun on with less frustration, I cannot stop making myself think about the Tuareg more. If that's so, this is my choice in the X Factor category. So the KTM 890 Adventure R and Aprilia Tuareg 660 have gone head-to-head across various segments. While the KTM emerges victorious in engine and performance, in suspension, wind protection, brakes, fuel tank, tech features, and X Factor, the Aprilia scores in handling, seat and position comfort, weight, design, and price and value for money. Ultimately, your choice may depend on what you prioritize in an adventure motorcycle, obviously. I feel I would go with Aprilia if I was limited to only these two. Otherwise, I would much rather choose KTM 890 Adventure without the R. Still, Tuareg's handling is just amazing. So are you looking for raw power and craziness? Then the KTM is your best bet here. Do you prefer a nimble bike with better handling? The Aprilia has it. What do you guys think? Which bike would you take? Let me know in the comments, and don't forget to check full honest reviews of both of these bikes linked in the description of this video. See you there.